What is going on, guys? Jack here, and welcome to episode 14 of Rebuilding Chelsea here in Football Manager 2017. And today I have for you guys a live com away from home against Manchester United, a top of the table clash. The winner will go top of the Premier League, and well, it's going to be a big one. If you missed last episode, or the episode before that, they were two double-header kind of games. I recommend you check them out. They were two pretty fun episodes. Good results in them. But since then, we've been a bit hit and miss, really. As you can see, Liverpool, the last game we played live, kind of on camera, that was on the 12th of January. You'll notice we are now way into April, and, well, we have played a fair few games here, really. But at the same time, just due to lack of European football, 9 games in the last 3 months isn't anything too crazy, really. There's been a few international breaks, of course. The fact we got knocked out of the FA Cup was disappointing, and as a result, we've really just had the league as our focus. And, well, given the fact that the league is now our focus, I feel like some of these results really should be that little bit better. Anyway, looking at the first game, it was a 3-2 defeat against Huddersfield. It was a game that we were the better team in. Of course, we drew against them in the original third leg kind of game, 5-5. It was a bit of a goal fest again here. It finished 3-2. It was a Chris Smalling late own goal that lost us the game. It was disappointing, but at the same time, we were playing a slightly rotated side in some ways with the likes of Joe Gomez, Sessegnon, Barkley and Delph kind of coming into the side of Noma as well. It certainly wasn't a strongest 11 by any means. Also worth noting that Harry Lewis, kind of a very good, talented young English goalkeeper who is kind of our third choice, really, did play in this game. He played okay. You can see in non-competitive games a 7.2. Unfortunately for him, he's been in goal for both games against Huddersfield in the FA Cup, where of course we drew 5-5 and lost 3-2. As a result, the records say that he conceded 8 goals in 2 games. A little bit harsh perhaps, but, well, we lost it, and we deserved to lose it in the end because we didn't take enough chances. And, well, it was disappointing, really, just to crash out the FA Cup in the first round that we entered in. Anyway, the next game, a rematch against Huddersfield, a full strength side. We came out the blocks flying in this game. We played very, very well. A 3-1 win, very much deserved. Zuma, Rashford and Jordan Ibe with the goals there. In the next game, another 3-goal thriller. This time, 2 early goals for us, really, in the first 10 minutes. Andre Garay also scored for Bournemouth. I guess after 3 goals in the opening 10 minutes, you thought this might turn into a bit of a goal fest, with neither team really wanting to defend. It didn't really transpire that way. The game got tighter as it went on. We were the better team. We got the 3 points. Rashford's goal just before half-time, the difference maker, a late consolation for Bournemouth in the second half. Simply not enough for them. The next game we had away against Norwich, a tricky tie at Carrow Road, but that does not excuse the fact that they matched us, and they played very, very well, Norwich. The game finished 1-1. It was a tight game. It was a competitive game. Fair play to Norwich. They surprised me in this game, if I'm honest. I looked at this run of fixtures. I thought that Norwich perhaps would be the pushovers. They weren't. If we look at the league table here, they're in 14th, but against us in this game, they really turned up big. They took the game to us, and they probably deserved a share of the spoils, really. Anyway, the next 3 games, 3 wins in a row. The first here against Hull, a 2-1 win. Kelechi Iheanacho with the goal, and Nathan Ake getting the all-important one in the 82nd minute. But that really doesn't tell half the story, because as you can see here, we missed 2 penalties and we dominated the game. It should have been far, far more comfortable. In the end, the fact we relied on an 82nd minute goal, kind of unacceptable, but we got the 3 points, we got over the line somehow. Lallana getting the man of the match award with 2 assists. Martin Odegaard, really poor game by his standards, a 5.9 there. Anyway, the next game against Palace, a 2-0 win, the first of 2 2-0 wins in a row. Lukaku getting both the goals. Unfortunately for us, he's not going to be available for today's game, Romelu Lukaku, as he's out with a twisted ankle. So a big miss for us. Our top goal scorer in the Premier League going to be, well, watching from the wings as we take on Manchester United away from home. Anyway, the third to last game in this run of fixtures, an odd game. We won 2-0. It was good. Ryan Sessegnon getting man of the match. Absolutely fantastic for him, the young English player. Now with 4 international caps. Looks like he's going to be a great player for us. Looking at him as a whole, he's starting to really develop a defensive side to his game. His mentals kind of still concern me, but I feel like he's going to be an incredible attacking fullback for us. Only 18 years old, still room to grow, and the fact his physicals are so good, his speed is so good, means that he can really focus on the technical parts of his game. And really, defensively, he's been much, much improved this year so far. He's definitely improved that element of his game. You can see his training is set to be a fullback, and we are focusing on his tackling. I want him to develop that. And, well, he's so far, so good for him. And, well, man of the match in this game was a good little achievement for him, I guess you could say. Anyway, the next game against West Brom, definitely 3 points dropped this. Away from home, going to the Hawthorns, never easy, but at the same time, we're trying to mount a title challenge here. I said, if we're in the top kind of 3, if we're within 5 points of the team who are top with 8 games left, I consider us in a title fight. We have 8 games left. We are 2 points behind Arsenal, who have played a game more. We are even Stevens with Manchester United. And as I said at the start, the winner of our game today will go top of the league. So we had to win this kind of game. Bitterly, bitterly disappointing to slip up here. West Brom getting the 2-1 win. And that was despite them having a man sent off. And with 25 minutes left of the game, we only managed to break them down once to get anything from that game. And we didn't get anything from that game, and we didn't deserve to. Anyway, a game that we definitely did deserve to get something through was this game against Newcastle. Nathan Ake sent off in the 14th minute. Newcastle, 2 goals in 2 minutes. We had 29 minutes left of this game, 2 goals down, a man down to try and make something happen. 2 goals, a Lukaku last-ditch effort in the 92nd minute, salvaged a point, a really, really good kind of point to get, I guess, given the circumstances. It could prove vital. At the same time, the sending off very much something that was preventable. 2 points drop perhaps, but given how the game played out, I was delighted with a draw, and in a lot of ways it kind of felt like a win. Anyway, those are the fixtures since the last time. As I said, with kind of no real European football, no domestic football to focus on, the league is really our priority, and with 8 games left, we currently sit in 3rd. In terms of our fixtures that remain this year, after Manchester United, we've got the likes of Everton, QPR, West Ham, Stoke to play, and I'm hoping that we can get 12 points from those games really against the 4 kind of lower sides. However, our last few games of the year against Arsenal, who are currently top of the league, Tottenham in 6th and Watford in 8th, they could prove to be tricky, so I really feel like a win here against Manchester United is vital. Looking at Manchester United's remaining games, they are still in the Champions League, but they've got a fairly nice run of fixtures. This is the last really tricky game for them to have to play, so we need a win. If we lose here, I hate to say it so prematurely, but our hopes of getting a title are probably dashed and long gone. You can see, looking at the league table here, we're even on points with Manchester United as things stand. Our goal difference is worse, but our records are the exact same. Manchester United, of course, won the league the last 2 years, the dominant force in English football, really. They're going to be tricky. We are playing them away from home today. As I mentioned earlier, Lukaku going to be out with an injury. Nathan Ake, as I mentioned, sent off in that game against Newcastle, so he's going to be out. He's actually going to be banned for 4 English matches. I think that's his 2nd red card of the season. It is. So you can't really excuse that. Going to miss 4 games. That does give a chance to the youngster Sessegnon to come in at left back, I guess. Looking at our team as a whole for today's game, we're going to go with Rajkovic in goal, the Serbian. Been superb this year, really has improved buckets, and he looks like a fantastic player now. Been at the club 2 years. This year, 10 clean sheets in 29. A fairly decent average rating by a goalkeeper standard at a 6.97. At left back, we have Sessegnon, who I already talked about. At right back, we go with another English fullback, Kyle Walker, 28 years old, of course, joined us in the summer for £8 million. He's got an average rating of 7.34. Doesn't contribute a whole lot going forward, but defensively he really has been outstanding for us. At centre-back we of course go with Chris Smalling, the former Manchester United man. Definitely going to be hoping to get a good result here for us. He's had a fantastic season too, as has Kurt Zouma, of course, a player we managed to keep hold of. I'm so glad we did. Last year he got a 7.77 average rating across a season in the Championship. In truth, I didn't think he'd get anywhere near that in the Premier League, but this year a 7.68 average rating, definitely nothing to be scoffed at, and well, he has been an integral part of our team. Moving slightly higher up the pitch in the centre mid-defend role, we go with Andreas Christensen, of course naturally a centre-back, but has really nailed down this centre-mid position this year. You can see a role he's pretty well suited to play in, a 7.06 average rating for him there. Alongside him we go with Will Hughes, the young Englishman, 19 caps now, really become a regular in the England side, the 23-year-old, developing a lot. Looks like he might be reaching kind of the upper echelons of his potential, but at the same time, a little bit of room hopefully left to develop. A consistent performer, fans like him, enjoys big matches. Hopefully he can come up big in this game today. Out on the left-hand side we go with Adam Lallana, 30 years old, having a little bit of a decline as a player, although worth noting he has been out for 3 weeks with a back strain, which I think has been one of the big reasons behind that recent decline. That said, a very good kind of playmaker out wide. If we look here, you can see he's just such a talented player when it comes to creating opportunities. 30 years old though, he's getting on a little bit, but he's still got a few years left in him. He doesn't really rely on his pace too much, and so far this year he has done a very, very good job for us. Out on the right hand side, another Manchester United man, another former United man in Rashford too, of course, to go alongside Chris Smalling, and hopefully Marcus can come up big for us. Joined us for £45 million last year, a monstrous fee paid, 12 goals in 27 games this year and an average rating of 7.28. He's been great for us really. He's continued to most banging goals. He's continued to develop a little bit. I'm hoping to see further development really as the season goes on, even though there's only 8 games left, but still a very exciting player. Hopefully he can do a job in the inside forward role. Martin Odegaard going to be playing down the middle. Of course, the club's a big earner. Player of the year for me so far. 13 goals, 18 assists. You really can't underestimate that. Last year, he had a fantastic season in the Championship. Probably the best signing we've made. £17.25 million. Very, very well spent. Anyway, up top for today's game, we go with Kelechi Iheanacho, the Nigerian, of course, coming in due to Lukaku's injury. Kelechi not perhaps been given as many chances as he'd like this year. 3 goals in 14 games, but I give him the nod today. The former Manchester City man, hopefully he can do something for us against his, former Manchester rivals. Looking on the bench, we've got Dominic Iorfa, Joe Gomez, Anoma, Masonda, Barkley, Ibe, and Theo Walcott. We've got options on there. We can really kind of change up the game. We can... I don't know. I feel like we can really apply some pressure and really up the tempo as this game goes on. So yeah, let's see how we get on in today's game. Just a quick thing, transfers, we didn't make any. There were none. It's not very exciting, I'm afraid. Just a few players going out on loan here and there. But yeah, nothing too crazy in terms of signings, if you were wondering, for January. So anyway, let's get into today's game. Lallana lacking match fitness. I've been told to only playing for 60 minutes out on the left-hand side, so it's probably going to come down to Charlie Masonda to come into the team and do something for us. But yeah, let's tell the players that we owe Manchester United after the last game. Let's really try and infuse them in this game. Hopefully we can have a good performance. And yeah, we're going to get straight into this. So a little bit of pressure, I feel like, on our shoulders, perhaps, to get a result here. We are away from home, of course. A draw would not be a bad result, but really, given how easy United's end-of-season fixtures are, and given the fact we have got to play Spurs, Watford and Arsenal, we need to try and at least get a point here. We want to remain in touching distance of United. If we lose this game, we go 3 points behind them. Our goal difference would be worse. It's going to be a big challenge for us to kind of make amends for that and really turn that around. On the flip side, a draw here, I'd kind of take it. I'd hedge our bets on the fact we can maybe do something with our goal difference. Still, tricky games would have to be played. But really, we've got to be gazumping and kind of eyeing up, I guess, a win. But we have got to defend here. Willian, our former man, whips into Martial. It hits the crossbar. Chris Smalling, get that out. Of course, a few former Chelsea players playing for United. And, well, a few on the flip side as well. Willian out on the right. A player we've got to be wary of. Of course, he went out on loan whilst we were in the Championship to Manchester United. He then made the move permanent due to a desire to play European football more recently. And, well, we've got to try and shut him down as well. We've got to try and shut down United here. Martial threaded through by Pogba. Luke Shaw out on the left, inside to Martial. Pogba, edge of the box, pulls the trigger. It was a wayward shot, blocked. Might still get another bite of the cherry here. Mata through. Can he finish it? He can't. Rajkovic, the big Serbian goal, makes the stop. A great little save by him. But the pressure does not relent. Ball to the edge of the area. Can we deal with it? Mkhitaryan to Herrera. Can we just dispossess Phil Jones? We can't. Mkhitaryan still with the ball. Can we just end the highlight, please, FM? Ball dealt with nicely. Will Hughes. Just get it out. No nonsense. Let's not mess around with the ball at the back. Let's just get it out to the halfway line. Let's build up from the back. Let's get our defence kind of sorted out. And, well, if we could end this highlight, that would be nice. But it does continue to go on. I thought the chance had gone. United already with one chance. They're on the attack again. Martial straight at Rajkovic again. A half chance for them there. And, well, the early stages, a little bit concerning. I'm going to change our fullbacks to defend. I almost want to play on the counter, if I'm honest, and kind of just do our standard, stick everyone on defensive in the kind of centre-mid positions and in the defensive positions, and try to exploit the space of United leaving behind. They're playing a 4-4-1-1. So there might be a little bit of room. You expect their wide men to really play kind of on attacking duties and be pushing forward. I'm hoping we can exploit the space in behind them. As we are on the attack, Martin Odegaard goes wide, hits it, hits the woodwork. What a goal that could have been for the Norwegian. He rifled it in from range. Kelechi is offside as well. But, well, a sign of intent at least. We hit the woodwork. It was a fantastic effort. And while we're on the attack again here, Kelechi turns his man, number 18, unfortunately gives the ball away, and now United bring the ball forward. Willian, number 16, he has pace. He has options inside as he does go to Martial. Pogba now with the ball, lays it back up to his former, I was about to say former Frenchman. They're still both French, Pogba and Martial, for the record. They are both international partners. And, well, it's a little bit of a speculative shot to end the highlight, really. 31 minutes gone. We now have a set piece. Loads of chances, no goals yet, though. Can we be the team to change that? Rashford, well, Phil Jones read that incredibly well, got to the ball. Can he clear it? He can to Juan Mata. Only Martial in support. He's going to have to do a very good job to hold up the play here. And well, he lays it to Mata, now picking out Willian out on the right, who has got one man to aim for in Martial. Can we defend it? Martial, back post, heads it against the woodwork. Rajkovic comes to the rescue. Chances galore, but both teams still yet to score. 2 woodworks hit for United. We've hit the woodwork, of course, through Odegaard's effort. I feel like we need to make a change. And I don't know what change I want to make. Do I want to mark Martial more tightly? I feel like we probably can do that just because he's playing as a lone forward, so we can kind of afford for the defenders to stick tight to him and potentially vacate their regular position to ensure they're shirt tight to him. I'm going to tell the players they owe Manchester United for last game. Of course, we did lose to them earlier on in the year. It was a really underwhelming performance that game. So, I want us to bounce back. Second half here, the game is all square. Yes, United have had the better of the play, but the scoreline doesn't lie. And right now, we have a chance to really step up in the second half, put in a much improved performance perhaps, and try and get ourselves to the top of the table. Willian whips in. Martial, I mean, that's not the start to the second half we wanted, if we're being honest. Do I want to stay on counter and change the fullbacks to attack? I feel like, to be honest, playing on the counter is somewhat of a needless thing to do just because of how United are playing at the moment, the 4-4-1-1. So for that reason, I think we're going to mix things up. We're going to change it. I'm going to change the mentality, I think, back onto attacking. I'm going to stick to what our team knows best. I'm going to have to make a few changes, I think, because really the team hasn't performed too well yet in this game. And we've got to look to step it up somehow. And I feel like, in truth, the way to do that is going to be with some personnel changes. So what can we do? Zuma's struggling, Odegaard's struggling, Will Hughes is struggling. I'm going to take off Will Hughes. I'm going to bring on Masonda. Elsewhere, Rashford has had an okay game at 6.8. Kelechi's been way off the pace though. So we're going to bring in Theo Walcott and play him up top. Add a little bit of pace, I think, in the final third. And yeah, we will also, of course, switch to attacking. So not a drastic change really, but just going back to what we know best. Bringing on a few players. Charlie Masonda, a very good creative player. Not normally a centre mid, but he can play there. Really, I'm looking at, well, I was about to say I'm looking at Walcott to make the difference as United hit the woodwork for another time in this game. In fact, it might have even been saved by Rajkovic. If that was the case, that was a fantastic stop by him. It was actually Danilo, the Brazilian, who we signed on our Spurs save, who then Spurs sold to United with the effort from the corner. So a warning shot, another warning shot. It could have been a quick fire double for United, and I would have been kind of scrambling, I guess, to make something work for us. It's still going to be very difficult. This game, we're yet to have anything in the second half in the way of a shot. And, well, United turning the screw. They are the back-to-back reigning Premier League champions for a reason. And Martial now breaking forward. He hits it. It would have been an incredible solo goal. Mercifully, however, for us, he has stuck it wide of the mark. And, well, 25 minutes left. 1-0 up. Let's see what we can make happen here. What can we make happen? Schneiderlin coming off of Pogba. Is that a little bit of respect being given to us than bringing on the defensive man? I just paused the game to make a tactical change. We'll let this highlight play out. I was about to switch more attacking. I may still have to, but, well, we have a chance here. Odegaard, Musonda, the sub, tries to pass it inside. Schneiderlin, kind of his fellow sub, I guess, wins the ball back. And, well, United bringing the ball forward here. We need to transition well into defence. And, well, in truth, our shape is all over the place. Mkhitaryan, long-range effort. Rajkovic holds on to it. Let's get our wide men further up the pitch. Christensen, you're going to come off for a Noma. And you're going to play as a box-to-box midfield. No, in fact, you're going to play as a centre mid on attack. We're really going to throw some men forward, I feel like, here. I should take off Lallana due to lack of fitness. Odegaard also struggling a little bit, but they are two game changers for us. I feel like we need them on the pitch. We have not a lot of time left to get a goal in this game. In truth, we've not really looked like getting a goal in this game, but it's one last roll of the dice now. We'll go on overload for the last 4 minutes. Can we make something happen? Unfortunately, it doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. 30 seconds left. In truth, United's class has really shone through. They are, back-to-back Premier League champions. We are a team newly promoted, looking at a top 5 finish with a young squad that we are still very much developing. And, well, this has been a bridge too far. Of course, United beat us to the title when we were at Spurs and we finished second. And, well, after this result today at Old Trafford, there is a big mountain to climb if we want to avoid that fate once again. But 1-0 it finishes. United played well. Willian, man of the match, our former man. We now sit in third. Arsenal, worth noting, played the same amount of games as us now, so that is something that we need to set the record straight for if we can. We have got Arsenal yet to play, of course. Elsewhere, we've got a little bit of a cushion onto the likes of Liverpool and Man City. Of course, our aim this year is to finish in the top 5 and get a Euro Cup kind of placement in the UEFA Cup. That looks very much possible now in the Europa League, so I'm hoping we can do that. Hopefully over the next few games, the easier games we've got, the 4 that I kind of highlighted earlier, we can get some good results. We need to bounce back well, get some confidence in the side, and that could be really, really important going into, well, what will be vastly important games against Arsenal and Tottenham. I think next episode we will do the Arsenal game. Not too many matches between then and now, but it could prove a deciding one in terms of where our fate lies this season in the league. Anyway, guys, hopefully you have enjoyed today's episode as always. If you have, please do smash the like button. If you've got any comments, feel free to leave them down below. And other than that, it is me, Jack, and I will talk to you guys in a bit. I'm out.